This class is called Conscious Communication. And at one point it was just called Communication. And we changed it recently to Conscious Communication, thinking that that was kind of better title. It kind of put a different thought process around the word communication. I've been teaching this for over 10 years, this lecture, and actually learned more about communication in my own personal life from teaching this class than anything else. And just when you think you know all there is to know, something else pops up, and now there's something else you need to learn and go through. And I'm finding that all the time in my life, and I think that's a good thing, though. Anytime you get a challenge or you get a change in your life, that's a positive thing. That means that change is happening. That means you're learning, you're growing, you're accepting new and different ways that you probably never looked at before. So when this class was originally called Communication, there was obviously a guideline, a list of things that we were going to talk about, and a structure of this class. And I've kind of just taken that structure and turned it into my own, I guess, creation of stories, of personal things, of, just when you thought you didn't know me, man, today you're going to get to know me. Not that you really want to, but today you're going to. And so I kind of put everything in together, and I teach in stories. I don't know education levels of everybody, and being that we're here at Hippocrates Health Institute, everybody comes from obviously different places, from all over the world, from different educations, and so I kind of just try to teach in basics, as you probably heard some of the other lectures I've taught here. Try to make it simple as possible, because honestly, really what's simple is true. You don't really need to be too complicated with some of these things. So I'm going to offer you a lot of different things today. Now this class is going to take you, when I called it Conscious Communication, what I thought my good example of that was years ago, and I don't know how long ago, it was probably 8 or 9 years ago when gas prices hit the $2 mark, and I got an email that said, don't buy gas on May 19th. And it went around, and I kind of read it and thought about it. And I sat back after reading it and took a big deep breath and thought to myself, don't buy gas on May 19th. Huh, what does that do? Oh, I know what it does. It makes May 18th and May 20th huge days at the pumps. Really doesn't do anything. And so I kind of added a little thing and put a little PS down at the bottom and said, not buying gas on May 19th does nothing about gas prices. However, not using gas on May 19th, not actually driving, not flying, might actually make a difference. And that's the kind of new email that we want to start putting out there in the world. And I actually, just yesterday, as a matter of fact, this is 2008 if you're watching this DVD, just yesterday, I heard on, I don't know if it was on a radio station I was listening to or a quick thing on a TV I saw, but they actually had a let's get together and not drive in their community day. And I thought that was really great. Maybe other people are getting it, because that will make a difference, not using the gas. So you don't drive one day, you don't fly one day. And man, if you want to do that, you want to send that email out and choose one day a month, I'll do that. I'll join that club. And I think, the hurricanes that we're blessed with here in South Florida, and I say blessed with, notice how I said that. I didn't say, we're cursed with. I said we're blessed with hurricanes, because you know what they do? First of all, they give us a nice enema that we've all been needing, right? But they also maybe turn our power off for a day. And who would do that? Who would actually go over to the power box and turn the power off in their home for one day? Let alone sometimes 1 week. Not many people would choose that. But that is a blessing. That is what's getting us back in tune with ourselves, with really what's going on. Because when the power's on, we're busy, right? There's something going on. You don't have to talk to your kids. You can send them off to go watch television or go play with Nintendo or do something, right? But now all of a sudden, power's off. You have to actually talk to people? Ooh. You got to try to find something to do, create something. And that's the awesome part about, I guess, turning the power off, or what we're blessed as getting hurricanes with. I'm not ever going to look at a natural disaster as a bad thing, because ultimately that's your choice. And I'm going to get into that a little bit too. You can choose to see it as a bad thing if that's what you want. I don't. And if you tell me that I have to see it as a bad thing, then we're not on the same page, because you're telling me how I should think. And this class basically is all about allowing you to wake up a little bit, allowing you maybe to go home and choose the raw food path if that's your choice. And I say the raw food path is a choice. Everybody hear that? Because ultimately, food is a choice. Food is not the end-all to be-all. It's not a god, it's not a cult, it's not a religion. It's just a choice. We can go to the buffet and choose to eat something different. We can go to a restaurant and order something different now if that's what we want to do. And so, when I say that, my feelings are also a choice. Let me ask you this question, and this was in my fear class that I used to teach. If you could choose happiness in every moment of every day, would you do it? Think about that question. If you could choose to be happy in every moment of every day, would you do it? Would you say yes to that question? Because it seems like an easy answer. Well, yeah, of course I would. Why wouldn't I? And then my response to you is, then why aren't you? Because ultimately, we're allowed to have other feelings. That's the, I guess, great part about being alive. We're allowed to sense other things and feel other things and go through those and experiment with them and find out where they come from and if they're even ours, if they even belong to us, or if someone made us feel that way. But then we're allowed also to move beyond it. We're allowed also now to say, hey, oh, I felt that. That was good, that was interesting, it was different, but now I'm going to choose to be happy again. Because it's your choice. The rain and the thunder is just going to add a kind of cool thing to the DVD, so I think that's awesome. It'll just tell you that we really were in Florida and we were doing this. And my other thing I taught in that fear class, and I want to say this because this was, I think, one of the key things, is fear prevents us from living in the now. Everybody hear that one? Fear prevents us from living in the now. Anytime you're stuck in the past or in the future or what will happen or what did happen, you're not present. And there's a cool thing to be present. That's why I always tell people to take a deep breath. So I'll do that again. And if you're watching this at home, take a deep breath. Because breathing's good. .com, .org, .net, .gov. Breathing's an important part, and it gets you centered again, brings you back to right now. You're in the right place at the right time. You're here in this room. And if you were to be anywhere else right now, if I told you that the end was, I don't know, this weekend was the last day on this planet Earth, if right now you would be anywhere else but watching this or sitting in this lecture with me live, then you better think about that. Because why are you waiting until someone tells you they know the end date before you start living? And I don't get into all the songs that I can start singing right now about that these days. You know, don't wait till the end. I see it too much. I hear these people saying, you know, man, if I would have only had one more day with my father or my cousin, I would have said this or I would have done this. Well, why didn't you? Why are you waiting? Don't wait till someone tells you. I told, you know, this person I met recently, I said, well, I knew that when I was going to die because my birth certificate had an expiration date on it. That was a joke. I steal all my humor, by the way. That's a Stephen Wright joke. So if any copyrights are rebroadcast in a joke or should get prohibited, but I talked to Stephen and said it was okay. Just kidding. So, I'm going to share some books with you in the beginning. And I do this little book list, and I'm going to do it pretty quick. And I think we all have our set of books that help us out in our life. This is just my selection, things that kind of help me out. And I tried to choose a little bit of everything with the book list. If you've read any of these, you know where I'm kind of coming from today. The very first one I read back in 1990 when I got into this, it is 2008 right now. In 1990 when I got into this, it was out in Southern California, and there was a working guest we had at the time. It was a place like this, like Hippocrates, and we started to get to know each other, and I wanted to date her. And she said, well, did you ever read Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life? I said, no. She said, well, if you read it, I'll go out with you. So I was blackmailed into reading it. But the great thing about Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and I got to meet Louise actually. She comes here to Hippocrates. Got a little hug from Louise. I got an autographed copy of her book. But I like this book because for me it was a good self-help. It helped to heal a lot of family issues, a lot of mom and dad stuff, a lot of past stuff. And I think this is a good start book for anybody that is starting to wake up or be conscious in the world today. This is a great starting book for them.